Okay, what's up guys? Ricky here with another review on the DC Multiverse Robin King. And this figure looks pretty sweet, so let's take a look at it real quick. So obviously, per usual from McFarlane, the texture details and the sculpt look really great. And this one has pretty good paint applications too. I like the white paint on the face, I like the black around the eyes, and I think it's done very well. Very good attention to detail. You have red going throughout, you have a yellow, which honestly in my opinion could definitely benefit from a black wash just to fill in those details and show off the texture a little bit better. Also those rivets could definitely benefit from silver highlighting as well. Now we have the green gloves that look really cool. Love the boots. It comes with extra fists. And I love those shoulder pads. That is sick. Very cool. And this is a build-a-figure, so this one builds the Darkfather, which is pretty cool. So here we go. So that's the front of the package. You have the side of the package here. You have the back of the package, and this is a build-a-figure of the Darkfather. This is number 1, so this is the body. And as you look, you have all these figures. All these figures here you can collect to build the Darkfather. And you have a really cool action figure shot of Robin King, which is pretty cool. So I love that action figure photography. Then on the side, right, so this is Robin King from the Dark Knight's Death Metal Edition. It has a Death Metal logo there on the top. So let's open this up and see what we're looking at. Okay, here is Robin King out of the package and looking pretty sweet. So I talked about the paint application already in the box, but you can see it a little bit better here. So if you look real close to the shoulders, you have a really cool, it looks like a green color with some purple dry brush over the top, which looks nice. They did chainmail on the head, which you can tell they did black with a silver highlighted over the top, which looks really good. Definitely could have benefited from a black wash on the crown, though, just to make the textures pop a little better. But the textures on this figure are really, really cool. Like I said, McFarlane does a great job with the with the textures and the details, not so much the paint application. So definitely some opportunities around the belt and the cape as well. I think they're just really plain colored, right? But if you add a little black wash, those textures, details will really pop. And with posing this one, I noticed it's a little strange to pose. The articulation's a little interesting, and there is no ab crunch or anything like that. But we'll get more into those details whenever we get into the articulation piece. But this figure did come with the Darkfather torso here, which looks really cool. So you have the bat emblem there, which I think looks really good. The ripples in the costume look really great over the muscles. It looks awesome. They did brown wash the belt to really show those details. So if you're wondering what a wash could look like on figures, it looks like that. Just really makes it pop. It looks like they have some spots to plug in a few things like a cape, etc. So looking really cool. Kind of makes me want to complete the thing for sure. And then this one also comes with a character card. So you have this action figure photo of Robin King. And then here is the data file on the back. So if you want to read it, you can pause your screen now. Perfect. Okay, now let's get into articulation and see what we're working with. So you got head, does not really look up at all, and it must be because of the chainmail material, so just look straight up, which is kind of unfortunate because it's a short figure, so you could see it potentially looking up a lot, but it doesn't really work. You can look down a little bit. You have a little bit of tilt, but not much, and you can rotate side to side. You have shoulder articulation, moves up about this high. Does not have, no it does. It does have a bicep swivel. It's hidden pretty well too, which is nice. So hidden bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, and then you do have wrist articulation, which is nice. The big disappointment here is there is no ab crunch, so unfortunately you can't lean it forward, back, side to side, anything. So underneath the cloak here you can get a little rotation, which is nice, but you can't do anything else as far as the ab crunch goes, which is unfortunate. You can go up this high with the leg, you can go out this high. However, the material and kind of the looseness of the legs there won't make it stay very well. Then you do have, let's see, it looks like, just single jointed knees, so you can't go back too far, just go back that far. And then you have ankle articulation, and you do have a pivot. But as far as overall, I'd say this articulation on this one is not super good. Unfortunate, but overall the figure looks great. So let's get into size comparison. Okay, so here's a size comparison for the Robin King. You have Atrocitus on the right, so he stands about 9.5 inches tall. You have Kyle Rayner, who stands about 7.5 inches tall on the left. So let's see how tall Robin King stands. It looks like he stands at a whopping 6.25 inches. So Very short figure, however, I know he's supposed to be. So I think that fits in scale just fine overall. So now let's get into final thoughts. Okay, final thoughts on Robin King. So I say this figure is, I don't know, maybe a 6 out of 10. I don't know. I don't really like it too much. So one, I think the details and the sculpt are amazing. So if you're into this figure, the sculpt, the detail, you won't be disappointed at all. I'd say the big drawback is the articulation is not very solid. Like the legs and joints are kind of loose. One leg seems a little bit longer than the other. There's no ab crunch or any articulation in the ab, and it's kind of a bummer. Overall, so you're not gonna be able to do it. I mean, you can do some poses, I got them in some, but the dynamic pose are gonna be really challenging with this one. But it did come with the Darkfather Batman body, so if you're trying to build the Darkfather, then of course this is a must-have. But I'd say if you're not trying to collect the Darkfather, this is probably a figure you could pass on unless you are just a a Robin fan per se, or just love this character. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Feel free to like and subscribe, and I will keep bringing reviews to you guys. And thank you all so much for joining, and I will catch you guys later.